Hello everyone, Namaste, Hare Krishna. So let's start with the Pranam mantra of Guru. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Gnanaanjanashalakaya Chakshurmittamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swamiti Namane. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Devam Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Parshata Desharni. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद सिद्धार्थ गदाधर शिवाशय गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे हरे. Okay. Hello everyone, Namaste, Hare Krishna. Welcome to Gita study session. So we are in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is titled Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the three modes of material nature. So in previous chapters, Krishna alluded to the modes. What are these modes? And modes are the cause for the soul's bondage. In 13th chapter, Krishna spoke about body, the material nature. The body is a byproduct of the material nature, and the soul, the differences, and the soul, because of this body and Prakriti, getting bounded into this material existence. Gunasangasya, Karna Gunasangasya, Sadasadiyonishu Janmasu, good karma or bad, good birth or bad birth, because of this gunas. So, what are those gunas? What are the names of those gunas? What are the symptoms of those gunas one can see? And how to overcome those gunas. Okay, so Krishna explains in this chapter number 14. So there are 4 topics in this chapter. First topic about the modes, how the modes bind the soul, the symptoms we can see by these modes, and how these modes bind the soul. Okay, and second topic is recognizing mode supremacy. Okay, sometimes mode of goodness go high, sometimes mode of passion go high, sometimes mode of ignorance go high. These modes overpower each other. When they overpower each other, how do we identify that? Okay, and third topic is death in 3 modes and next destinations. If a person dies and at the time of death, if his mode is in the mode of goodness, if he's high in goodness, and he died, but his consciousness is more in the mode of ignorance, more in the mode of passion. Okay, accordingly, you'll get a next birth. Next birth is determined based on the current mode he's in at the time of death. And finally, fourth topic, Arjuna was quite afraid. He himself asked, "What is this? How to overcome these modes? Can you tell me?" Krishna explains the what we can do from our side, what God will do from his side. So that's how to transcend the modes. So very beautiful chapter. This chapter is like a mirror. It's a mirror. We can see ourselves. Okay. If we thoroughly learn, understand this chapter, we can apply in our everyday life. We can see the modes which are acting on us. We could see within ourselves, we could see in our children, our family members, and we can help ourselves first. We can help others, overcoming these modes, going up. And yeah, so this is the essence of this chapter. I'll read it. Understand how you are bound by the 3 modes of nature and learn the means to break free from the bondage. Okay, this is what Krishna explains. This is the essence of this chapter. Few words. So I gave an overview of entire chapter in previous sessions. So there is a lot to cover today. I'll skip this thing. Okay. So in the previous session, we covered this thing, these verses from verse number 6 to 8 in this chapter. Okay. So we learned, first of all, Krishna glorifies this chapter by saying, this knowledge is so glorious. If a person, if you can understand, if you can understand this chapter, apply in your life, and this chapter will, this knowledge will lead you to liberation, which will help you from cycles of birth and death. You'll be undisturbed at the time of creation or destruction. Krishna uses the word, he'll be undisturbed at the time of creation or destruction. That's the glory of this chapter. It's a very, very important chapter. Okay. So when we know, it's like if you're buying any electronics or anything that comes with a manual, right? That comes with a manual. We read the manual and we operate the device accordingly. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita is also manual. It's also manual, especially this 14th chapter as a manual for us to see how can we correctly operate this device of human body with mind, intelligence, and false ego. Mm. So, so that's why this chapter is very important. And everybody's bond, everybody, every living entity, even the creation, anything we see in this anything we see in this creation, material thing or a non-material thing, living being, non-living being, everyone is influenced by these three modes. Small ant, a dog, a cat, human being, everybody, every living entity, everybody, living being, non-living being, everybody are influenced by these three modes. Okay, so Krishna spoke about the symptoms of the three modes, how they bind the soul, and Krishna later verses from 11 onwards, he teaches us that when the modes increase, when they go high, what are the symptoms? Okay, so so we'll recap on this one, verse number 4, 6 to 8. So when the sattva guna, what are the symptoms of sattva guna? Sattva guna is pure. The nature of sattva guna is pure, hmm? By which it keeps our mind pure, clean, undisturbed state of mind, right? And illuminating. Illuminating means it's what is illuminating? Krishna explains in the later verses. Okay, verse number 11 or 12. So that's where he explains when he goes, when the most of when the goodness go high, what happens? He describes, elaborates in that verse. What is it illuminating means? Okay, and we'll talk about that in detail again. So yeah, so the symptoms of mode of goodness is one is fully functional, physically functional, like physically body, no disease, no health issues, physically fit, mentally fit. Okay, if you are saying that, then we are in the goodness. Simple, right? And how it binds. So Krishna said, this is good, by which one experience, when we are physically fit, mentally fit, we'll experience happiness and joy, right? And this is also binding. Krishna says this also binds the soul by happiness. It propels towards experiencing happiness, not through sense enjoyment, but experiencing happiness to by doing good things, right? Good things. Okay, and the happiness one would experience in three different ways. In 18th chapter, Krishna says, right? So happiness could be derived by helping others, doing seva to others, and doing seva to community or donating. There are different happiness one would experience. Good happiness, happiness one would experience by sense enjoyment, enjoying through senses. That is one happiness. The happiness one would derive by self-destructing or disturbing others, other living entities. By killing someone, a terrorist get great happiness. By killing someone, a terrorist get great happiness. What kind of happiness is that? It's a tamasic happiness. In 18th chapter, Krishna clarifies that. But anyway, so because the one want to experience happiness and he's propelled and to do actions, he'll do good actions in the pursuit of happiness. He will do good actions, good karma, or in the pursuit of happiness, he'll do bad karma, bad actions, and there is karmic reactions is born. Okay, that is first thing. So second thing, Rajoguna. Rajoguna, what is the nature of Rajoguna? Rajoguna stimulates, triggers. Okay, it triggers lust, longings, desires. When we look at it, I want it. Right? We desire for it. I look at it, I desire for it. I wish I had it. Okay, and we develop cravings towards attaining it. It could be a car, it could be a gold, it could be a someone's clothes or shoes or whatever, any objects, any objects which make us happiness. It kindles desires. This Rajoguna, Rajas kindles desires and pulls us, creates cravings and longings towards enjoying through senses. Okay, so that is Rajoguna. And it binds us, uh, pushing us towards fulfilling desires. So in the pursuit of fulfilling desires, we do good action, bad action, good karma, bad karma, and we are bound. Tamoguna. So symptoms of tamoguna is exactly opposite to satvaguna. Satvaguna is illuminating. It will make us to gain knowledge, clearly understand, clear sense of mind. Mind is clear, thought process is clear. We are fully functional. Okay, that is satvaguna. We are confused, blocking, knowledge is blocking, we don't understand clearly, we are seeing but we are not understanding, we are hearing but not understanding. That is tamoguna. These are the symptoms. Okay, so how it binds? Because of lack of knowledge, one would do mistakes, huh? And become carelessness, mad carelessness, and also tamoguna, one would become more sleepy, lazy, sluggish, and attention disorder. He cannot focus on anything properly. So these are all symptoms of tamoguna. And Krishna explains little more. When these go high, when these go high, when these go wild. So what happens when they go wild? So Krishna explains. I'll ask someone to read this.
Rajastamas Chabibhuya Sattvam Bhavati Bharata Rajasattvam Tamaschaiva Tamasattvam Rajastata. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance, O son of Bharata. Sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy.
Thank you, bro. So Krishna is saying here these three modes. In previous verses, Krishna spoke about the symptoms of the three modes, how they bind, and Krishna is further explaining. Here he is saying that three modes compete or overpower each other. Overpower each other. Just like if you see three people are running a race, one try to overpower, another tries, three people try to overpower each other. Okay. Again, according to their stamina, abilities, they could overpower. Otherwise, they don't. Right. Similarly, these modes are according to our our lifestyle, lifestyle, the food we eat, the activities we do, many factors. We'll see as we go in this session today. We'll see those things. Right. These modes overpower each other, and in 11th verse onwards, Krishna speaks about the symptoms again, when they go high, when they overpower each other. So there are three modes: mode of sattva guna, goodness; rajas, passion; tamas, ignorance. What they overpower? Mode of sattva, goodness, overpower rajas and tamas. Rajas and tamas. Right? That means mode of goodness is high, and mode of rajas, it overpowers sattva and tamas. Tamas overpowers sattva and rajas. So these three modes. Um, and Krishna explained this further. We'll see as we go. Okay, so the question comes: what time do they overpower? Okay, so we'll try to do some FAQs. What time do they overpower? Do they overpower within our mind consciousness, like throughout the year, throughout our lifetime, or in a particular time frame? It happens throughout our lifetime. Throughout our lifetime, throughout the year, within the month, or within a day, within an hour, or within a minute. Minute of 60 seconds, we could see these variations in our consciousness. Right? Sometimes zoom, passion increases. Sometimes tamas increases. Okay, we are listening, but we are sleeping. Right? With goodness, we are listening, but with ignorance, mode of ignorance. When it overpowers, we are sleeping. Right? Yeah. Then this is how the modes overpower. Hmm? Question comes: can I do something about it? Can I do something about it? Yes, there is always a choice. We are not controlled by some entity and they are making us dance. No. Yes, they are making us function, these modes making us function by the energies of Krishna, right? God. But we still have a choice. We still have a choice. Okay. The choice is just identify which mode we are in. Which mode we are in. When we know which mode we are in, we'll try to work towards it. I'll give an example, it will be clear, right? So when we I know this is springtime, spring past, I think summer is coming, but during the springtime, there'll be uh, pollen and everything, right? So when you go out and you catch that pollen and you'll get sneezes, cough, everything, right? Various symptoms appear. Various symptoms appear. Keep on coughing. Do we live like that? Like, okay, let it that happen, and it will get cured by itself. I'll not do anything. It's an emergency situation. If you're sneezing high, we are coughing high, and your mind is not functioning, and we are unable to eat anything. It's an emergency situation. What we do? We do some action. We do something towards it, right? So we just can't live with that problem. We don't live with that problem. We just do something about it. What we do? We go to a Walgreens nearby, take a medicine. Some medicine, whatever. Take some medicine. We try to cure something. We try to work towards curing that disease or problem we have. Mm. So we can do something from our side. Okay, but it is increasing. None of the over-the-counter medicines are working. I need to do something. What I'll do? I just surrender. I just surrender. Whom I surrender to? Doctor. I'll go to say, doctor, I can't. I tried my medicines. Okay, I thought I'm a doctor by myself. I tried everything by myself, but looks like I'm not a doctor. You help me. You help me. I surrender unto you. Surrender, it means we don't say, "By I'm surrender unto you," but we agree, and we accept whatever he teaches us, whatever he says, right? He writes a prescription. Okay, these are the problems. Okay, these are the symptoms, these are the problems. Doctor enters into the laptop, he gets a prescription. Basically, he also knows, he also has experience, right? So, how to cure? He knows how to cure, and he gives a medicine. Now, with the medicine, and he does some tests and increases the prescription. Whatever the dose we are taking may not be sufficient. He knows how to cure. He gives the right prescription. We take the right prescription. Problem solved. Problem solved. Okay, the same thing. What we did, we fully surrendered to doctor. We just did whatever doctor wanted us to do. Whatever doctor wanted us to do, we just did. Right? That's called surrender. Simple words. Okay, that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Also, Krishna says, "You just surrender unto me. Sarvadharmam parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Sharanam, you just surrender unto me. I will deliver you." Right? So anyway, so when these modes act on us, when this mode act on us, we just need to identify, recognize, yes, these are the symptoms. Okay, these are the symptoms, right? So bodily symptoms, we work towards and do something about it. And these symptoms, like subtle symptoms, we don't even pay attention to it. When we are in Rajasic, extreme Rajas, when we are in extreme Tamas, we think like that's a normal situation, normal thing, right? And this is very important. That's why it's very important. Okay, it's an emergency situation. It's very important. So one may say, like, I was speaking to someone like about these things, and if that person was saying like, I never heard anything like this. I don't know, like, whatever you're saying is I never practiced in my life. Well, you never practice because you never open Bhagavad Gita. When you open Bhagavad Gita, this is a manual. When you open Bhagavad Gita, when you look at it, learn it, then you try to work towards it. Huh? Ignorance is a bliss. That person was saying ignorance is a bliss. Because he was happy when he has not have this knowledge. Huh? So ignorance is a problem. Ignorance is not a bliss. Ignorance is like tamas. So tamas pulls us down and down and down. So ignorance is not a bliss. Ignorance is a problem. It's an emergency situation. Okay, so it's very important. If we don't know this knowledge, we are gaining this knowledge now. Now that we gain, we look at ourselves. It's a mirror. We look at ourselves and try to apply to see ourselves like which mode we are in, and we work towards it. Okay, so we always have a choice. When we are in the mode of extreme rajas, we can do certain things to come down of rajas, right? Rajas, and mostly we need to work towards sattva guna, mode of goodness, from mode of goodness to transcend the mode of goodness. Okay, so that is Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is a thing, is a experience one would get by connecting unto the Supreme Lord. Okay, Shuddha Sattva. That's called Shuddha Sattva, like pure goodness, pure goodness. That's what Krishna is driving us towards. Okay, so we spoke about what times do they overpower, and what can I do something about it. There is a lot we can do about it. Okay, we need to just identify that these modes are acting on us. Okay, so these shlokas number 11, 12, and 13, Krishna talks about when these modes increase, when the mode of goodness increases, sattva increases, rajas increases, tamas increases. Okay, what are the symptoms? How do we identify? So we'll read one by one. I'll ask someone to read it.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहे अस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं sattvam iti uta. The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are eliminated by knowledge.
You can continue.
लोभः प्रवृत्तिर आरम्भः कर्मणाम् असमः स्पृहा रजसि एतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ. O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. Aprakasho apravritrischa pramado moha evacha tamasi etani jayante vrivriddhe kuru nandana. When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested.
Thank you, bro. So there's nothing to be scared or worried. Okay, Krishna is saying these are the symptoms. These are the symptoms we can see within ourselves. These are the symptoms we can see within other people also. Okay, so this knowledge is so glorious. Okay, and also terrifying. And the thing is, when we have this knowledge, when we can identify which mood we are in, and which within a what I said 1 minute or one day, throughout the day, or throughout the year, we can look back and see which mode we are in. Okay, we are basically carried away by these emotions and all these are the gunas. Okay, so we need to put a check on this one, identify and put a check on one. So now we'll analyze, like next 30 minutes we'll analyze 11, 12, 13 in detail, and we'll see like how to overcome these modes, what we can do from our side, what God can do from his side. So okay, so this is a mode of goodness. When the mode of goodness increases, when the mode of goodness increases, okay, what things happen? What will happen to us? How can we identify when there is an increase in the mode of goodness? Krishna says all the bulbs will be turned on. Everything will be turned on, right? Illumination. Prakasha. Prakasha means light. Light. Hmm? Like it's like the room is lit. When I turn on the light, the room is lit. When the room is lit, I can see everything clearly. Okay, I can see everything is in this room clearly. Okay, when I turn off the light, I can't see anything clearly. Right, I need a torch or something to see clearly. Right, so Krishna is using this word prakasha. This there is a illumination. Illumination. We can illumination where Krishna. Sarvadhareshu dehe. Sarvadhareshu, dwara, in all our gates. Okay. So what are the gates Krishna is talking about? Krishna is quite poetic. Okay. God is quite poetic. Hmm. he would have used the word senses, indriya, but this word makes it more powerful, more profound. The dwara. So what is dwara? Dwara means a door or a gate, door or a gate. Okay. So what a door represents? Why we have a doors, right? So that we can go out and come in, right? Right. So we have these gates of we have these gates on our body, especially on our head, on our head. What are the gates? The gates of eyes, ears, nose, and and uh, taste and touch. Touch is throughout our body though, but these are the different senses. Krishna is talking about these doors with eyes. With eyes, what we do? We see. How we see is a sense of vision. Sense of vision. That's why this eye and sense is called Gnana Indriya. The Sanskrit is so wonderful, right? So, it's not a sense, it's a Gnana Indriya. Gnana means knowledge. Gnana Indriya, knowledge acquiring senses. The senses acquire knowledge. By vision, sense of vision, we acquire knowledge. We gain knowledge. I look at it, I gain knowledge. I see it, I remember it, I memorize it. I see after one day, I still remember it, right? So, when first time we look at it, right? So we try to understand, and those impressions are stored in mind. And next time when you look at it, it's clear. I know this, right? So yeah, processing is so fast, so fast. Mm. The sense of vision, if sense of vision is functioning well, fully functional. This is not about the organ, okay? Krishna is not talking about the organ itself, okay? So Krishna is not talking about the if someone has a sight, what if he wear glasses and two number glass, fine, I don't know glasses sizes and numbers, but Krishna is not talking about the physical flesh organ, okay? uh, Krishna is talking about the sense of vision by which we gain knowledge. Okay, if I have eye problem, I can wear glasses, but I can still gain knowledge. Not a problem, right? Not a problem. So, right? So it's not a Krishna is not talking about this so-called flesh or this eye. Krishna is talking about the sense. In these eyes, we have a sense of vision. We gain knowledge. Gain knowledge. Okay, and we have this sense of hearing. Ears. Through ears, we hear. We hear and gain knowledge. Even though we close our eyes, we can hear and understand it. Certain things, right? These are also knowledge acquiring senses. This is also door. This is also dwara. So eyes is a dwara, door. Ears also dwara, door by which we gain knowledge. Knowledge is going inside. You are hearing me speaking, mm, and you're gaining knowledge. It's going through our ears, right? It's also doors. Through these doors, we are gaining knowledge, going into our database. And sense of hearing, sense of smell, we smell it and gain knowledge. We taste it and gain knowledge. Right? We close eyes, ears, but we can still eat something, a pizza or anything like we put it in our mouth. We know we don't have to see physically, smell it, but if we taste it, if you know the taste before, we know what type of food it is, right? So we can taste also, we can gain knowledge. So these are all doors, doors for knowledge, knowledge acquiring doors, knowledge acquiring doors, knowledge acquiring senses. So scientific knowledge Krishna is speaking here. Okay, so this knowledge acquiring senses, what Krishna is saying in this verse, when sattva guna increases, this knowledge, these doors are illumined. Illumined. What is illumined? Illumined. There is a light. Light is turned on. Light is turned on. When the light is turned on, we can perceive things clearly. Okay, that means when I seeing, I'm understanding it clearly. When I hearing, I'm understanding it clearly. When I smelling, I'm understanding clearly. When I touching and feeling it, I'm understanding clearly. That means we are the mode of goodness is prevalent. It's high. It's prominent. Okay, so when we are able to receive the knowledge and understanding it clearly, processing clearly, perfectly, without any disturbance, that means we are in the mode of goodness. Not just that, the goodness is high. Goodness is Satoguna is high. Satoguna high. So we'll talk about how to bring this Satoguna high in this session. So the Satoguna high. So sense of vision. So one may say like how this how this knowledge applies to me in my daily life. This is very much practical. It applies to us in our daily life, right? So we see with the sense of vision, we look at the emails. We look at the emails, right? So if you can read it, understand it, process it, act on it, we are in the goodness. Okay. If you're reading the email, but if you misunderstand, totally misunderstand, the content is right. This happens to us with everybody, with us. Yeah, when we are working at IT or our workplace, or where we're at, we're looking at emails or a personal messenger or WhatsApp. Now we have a WhatsApp, right? We're looking at the WhatsApp. People quickly react to it, right? Look at it. They don't even read correct fully. They don't even read the email correctly. They don't even read the message correctly. Quickly react to it. It's called Rajas. Okay, quickly react to it, and the message, and again they see like, oh, regret, go back and read again, right? So this called Rajas is dominating us. That means Rajas is pulling us to act immediately without fully processing it, right? Then mode of goodness is not high. Okay. And if a person is reading email, reading email through sense of vision, he's totally misunderstanding it. Okay. So one thing is he's not fully understanding but reacting immediately. But this time, this mode of ignorance, he totally misunderstood, totally wrong. He goes and reacts like he shouts on the person and totally misunderstand, do all kind of things, right? So that's tamas because of tamas. Okay, but the sense of vision is fully functional. When satoguna is prevalent or high, then we could understand things as they are, as they are, as they are. This is everybody wants it. Everybody wants it, right? All the problems in this world because of extreme rajas. We react to situations immediately, or we totally misunderstand because of tamas. Yeah. In the mode of goodness, when everybody is in the mode of goodness, everybody is happy in this world, right? Right. Yeah. So there's a sense of vision, sense of hearing, sense of hearing. So this happens in our meeting. We are all in a meeting room. There is a meeting going on, right? So everybody throws their ideas, and we are also listening, understanding clearly, processing it, and we also give our ideas and proposals, and everything is functional. 100% we are understanding it. That means we are in high goodness. As per Krishna, we are in high goodness. We are not understanding it. We are multitasking it, right? So we are listening. We are in a meeting. We see in this all the time. In our office, workplace. Especially in Zoom meetings. People join it. They turn off. Are you listening? Yeah, I'm listening. But he had it a video off, and he's doing all kind of multitasking things, and he's not even learning the knowledge correctly, right? So that, and again, he'll ask. You would have seen this in your workplace also, right? So the person will ask, What did you say? What did you say? I didn't get it. Can I repeat again? Can I repeat again? Oh my God, I spent full 1 hour uh, to talk about this topic, and you're asking me to repeat again. That means he's pulled by these modes. He's not attentive. He's not attentive. Either Rajas, and he's doing multitasking and getting himself disturbed, or Tamas, he's listening. Eyes are open and ears are open. He's listening, but he couldn't make sense of it. This happens to us everybody every time. Also, it's a common thing, right? Krishna is saying is because of goodness is not high. The sattva guna is not high. When the sattva guna is high, the sense of hearing is perfect. We are hearing it, processing it, 100% perfect. No issues at all. Everybody wants that state, right? So that is we need to work towards this mode of goodness. When the mode of goodness high, you can see here when the mode of goodness high, everybody will be successful. Okay, if a person can look at it and understand it clearly, if a person can gain knowledge and understand it clearly, there are no problems in this world. So no problems within a family, within people, right? Whether it could be a WhatsApp message or email or anything. uh, uh, Not people don't go by emotions. People just with a steady state of mind, peacefully, clunkily understand it clearly. Right? So if a person is a student, is studying, is a kindergartner, first grade, second grade, what are the grade? If a person in the mode goodness, his academics also good. academics also will be good. His office workplace will be good. So that's why it's very, very important. The sattva guna is very, very important for us to cultivate and develop. So let's talk about how to develop this sattva guna, what we can do from our side. Okay. So Krishna explains this. Krishna, that's what the style of Krishna. Krishna gives a topic. Krishna talks about a topic and explains later. Okay, so that we all can attend regularly Bhagavad Gita classes. If Krishna speaks everything in one topic, one chapter, then people who don't attend regularly or they may not clearly understand it. That's why Krishna. That's why so guna also Krishna spoke about it in previous chapter and he explained in 14th chapter. It took like 12 chapters to go through and get a thorough conviction what Krishna is saying, and only then Krishna spoke these words, right? These things, so that we can accept God. So that's why Krishna spoke Bhakti Yoga in middle section, so that when we truly know who is God, when we truly accept the messages of the God, okay, then these things make sense to us, and we will work towards applying it. Okay, that's why it's very important. Sometimes we think why Krishna spoke about Bhakti Yoga in middle 6 chapters. There is a reason, so that we are truly convinced, yes, there is a God, God exists, and his messages are true, and it is for me. Okay. So yeah, so now that we are truly convinced and we are truly convinced about existence of the God and what the nature of the God and the messages of the God, and that's why Krishna elaborates and explains everything in detail now, right? Some 13, 14, 15 chapter, all the topics. So these things Krishna explains in 16 chapter, 17 chapter, 18 chapter. We'll see this a lot. Okay, so the gunas and the pravrittis, our actions in gunas, what are the things we do in gunas. So this is a subject matter in rest of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. After 15, everything is these three gunas only, mostly. Okay, so in 17th chapter, Krishna talks about this. Okay, there are three things we can do. There are few things we can do from our side to develop sattva guna. Okay, so sattva guna, we can do few things from our side. Okay, the first important thing is food. Okay, second thing is living habits. Okay, and third thing is spiritual connection. Okay, so the certain things we can do from our side, second thing God will do. Okay, so Krishna concludes this chapter by saying, you can do certain things, I will do certain things also. so, so how to develop sattva? The first thing we'll see the category, this is food. So one has to intake sattvic food. Okay, at least this lifetime. We don't know what kind of food we ate in previous lifetimes, or before this Bhagavad Gita, right? So maybe we could have eaten any wide varieties of food types. I know it doesn't sound good, it's not so pleasing, but this is very uh, this message is spoken by Krishna itself, and this is coming from the Veda scriptures also. So that's why it's very important that we gain the proper knowledge and live a life as spoken by Krishna. Right? So one has to intake sattvic food. Sattvic food. Okay. In Chandogya Upanishad, there is a nice verse, a beautiful verse in Chandogya Upanishad. So whatever Upanishad speaks, Krishna is also saying same thing. So Krishna spoke about food thing in 17th chapter, but I put it here so that now we'll get some idea ahead of time. Otherwise, we'll be thinking, or if you miss the sessions, also no problem. You are covered. Okay, this verse we'll see from Chandogya Upanishad. Ahara Shuddho Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddho Dhruva Smriti. Smriti Lambhe Sarva Grantinam Vipra Mokshaha. This is from Chandogya Upanishad, one of the famous Upanishads. So many details in this Upanishad. And same thing we say in Bhagavad Gita also. It's coming from the mouth of Krishna itself. So Upanishads are also given by Krishna. They are also spoken or given by Krishna. All are same. Okay. The Upanishads came indirectly, but Krishna is giving directly. That's the only difference. Other words, Krishna Upanishad also directly from Krishna only. Okay, it's a different books. The content is same. Okay. So yeah, I read the message here in English. From purity of food comes purity of mind. From purity of food comes purity of mind. Okay, what next? From purity of mind comes constant memory. Constant memory. Hmm? Dhruva Smriti. Okay. And from constant remembrance, one becomes free from all knots. One becomes delivered. Okay. Ahara Shuddha. Ahara means food. Shuddha, like pure food. If a person consumes pure food, sattvic food, then Sattva Shuddhi, he'll attain a purification of mind. He'll get pure, the consciousness is pure. Certain food types, if we eat, they stimulate our emotions, right? We all have experiences. Certain food you can see in this list here. I'll talk about this in a minute. So there's certain foods which will stimulate our emotions, will trigger our emotions. Certain food are tamasic food. If we eat it, they pull us down, make us more and more tamasic, right? So, but if we eat sattvic food, it purifies our mind. It stabilizes our mind. It gives a clarity in our mind, clarity in our thought process, clarity in decision making, right? And and when you are processing the data correctly through our senses, when you are in sattva that means we are in sattva by eating food. It nourishes our tissues, brain tissues, and consciousness, and we are gaining the data. And dhruva smriti. Dhruva smriti means like you can remember nicely. Yeah, so the food is very important. If a person is struggling with remembrance, there's something wrong with the food, as per scriptures. Okay, so Dhruva Smriti is very important. Like it's one is remembering correctly, not previous lifetime. Nobody can remember previous lifetime. If you can remember correctly what have we heard 1 hour before, that itself a great big achievement, at least in this age of Kali. In the previous ages, people used to memorize all 700 shlokas. In this age of Kali Yuga, the Smriti is very poor. You know, our understanding also very poor. Uh, uh, just by hearing, people used to understand everything quickly and memorize quickly. So in this Kali Yuga, because of many factors, is going down. The Smriti or remembrance is going down. Anyway, so for a good remembrance, also food is important. Food makes a crucial role. Makes a crucial role. I'm gonna eat good food. And by eating good food, good remembrance, and good activities, okay, one would attain, one will break free from this cycle of birth. And it's very important that one has to eat a sattvic food. Okay, so much talking. So can you give me examples? So much philosophy. Your sessions are so much philosophical. Okay, examples here. Okay, so Krishna himself gives examples here. Three shlokas he speaks in the 17th chapter. The food. This is left three things, right? So one is goodness, passion, ignorance. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So Krishna categorizes food in three modes. Krishna categorizes food in three modes. The food which is in goodness, that gives strength. It gives strength, which nourishes our body. That is a primary thing which should nourish our body, nourish our consciousness. And the food which should give health, not disease, health. Okay. So if you ask me the list of foods to eat, wait for 17th chapter. I will go in detail. So I'll bring those things from, or we'll see from Ayurveda. Ayurveda especially talks about these things. There are sattvic foods one must consume. The names of the foods also we can see from Ayurveda for more detailed explanation. But for this 14th chapter, we'll just stick to this. Otherwise, it will be a big session. And we just did, we are in Sattva Guna only. We need to do two more gunas. We may not complete, we'll see. Yeah, so give health, the food which gives health, right? And more examples we'll see later. Yeah, the food we should give happiness. When we eat it, we should experience like great satisfaction. Very nice, very nice, palatable. Okay, and the food type should be juicy also. Okay, so there has to be some liquid part also. We'll see in Ayurveda when we deal with 17th chapter. The fatty, the food there has to be fatty content also. Not like 1 liter of ghee in the food, but some fat content, little bit also has to be there. And wholesome. It should look palatable. It should look good and wholesome. And pleasing to heart. Very nice, pleasing to heart. Now, certain things we eat it looking good, tastes good, so pleasing to heart. Okay. After eating, no stomach burning. Okay, it's so pleasant in the heart also, in the body also. So and this food something easily obtained. We'll talk about what is easy leptin later. So these are the certain foods which fall into this category. The foods which are bitter, so bitter. Okay. So the bitter things are good when we take as a medicine, but bitter things should not be eaten every day like a food. Okay. So the bitter things make us little rajasic. Sour, if you're eating too sour food, make us rajasic. Too salty. People have a habit of putting so much salt. Okay. You can look at it. Okay. If a person is eating too much salt, too much spices, how he talks, how he talks, how he behaves, how he interacts with people. He's more passionate, more rajasic. And not to criticize that person and go say like, hey, look at you, you are a rajasic person. No, but this is just to learn, like learn the symptoms, so that we don't want to be that. We don't want to be more rajasic, right? So yeah. So more salty, too hot food, spicy food, which will burn our intestines. So those are rajasic food, and nerve stimulating, which create various emotions. Okay. So pungent food, dry food, which food is so dry, the food is causing distress, and food which is causing misery after eating, it's causing disease after eating, and this other thing gives immediate pleasure to senses. Oh, so nice eating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So pleasure in eating, say gratifying senses by eating, but it's so displeasing after that. So those kind of foods. We'll see examples later. So tamasic food, which is cooked more than 3 hours before eaten. We'll talk about later. More details to it. Don't rush and make a thought here. So, but tasteless. That is tasteless, putrid, spoiled. Food is spoiled in fridge, spoiled, and we're still eating it. Right? So it's a tamasic food. And remnants, like the food is eaten by a dog or cat. I saw a person, dog came to him, and the dog was eating little bit. All the things were coming, falling into the plate, and this guy is also eating nicely from that same plate. I was like totally shocked. Right? So this will call untouchable things. If other living entity touches this food, it is good to be thrown out. It's a trash food now. Okay, so so, we'll deal with that later in 17th chapter. Many things to learn. Okay, so unclean food, yeah, it doesn't look pleasant. It doesn't look pleasant, but if you're eating, still eating, it's not good. It causes distress. So these are the things. More details to it. Krishna did not speak it. He spoke in 17th chapter, but I'm giving these things here so that we can get an idea, so that we can develop work towards Sattva. Okay. So this is one thing. And living habits. Okay. So this also, there is a principle called go-go principle. Go-go. What is go-go? It's not Google. It's a go-go principle. Go-go is good in, good out. Good in, good out. So through our senses, sense of eyes, ears, nose, or taste, or whatever, if you're putting pure things, pure content into our consciousness, we all know what kind of content in this now in YouTube. Let's take example YouTube. Okay, the YouTube content also, there are good things. There are Ramayana. That is a mode of content in the mode of goodness. The content in a mode of passion. uh, about movies, nerve triggering movies, disturbing movies, and some content in the mode of ignorance, like attacks, destruction, killing each other. Whereas the content also varies. Content also in three modes, right? So when we put bad content, passionate content, tamasic content, more content, bad content in our consciousness, then we become more and more rajasic and tamasic. So this is not something we are doing from in this lifetime. We have been doing for many lifetimes, right? So it's also very important the content we put it in our mind and consciousness. Okay, I'm not saying like stop doing everything whatever you're doing. No, continue doing whatever you're doing, but try to understand like the content we put in. So that's what we teach in our youth kids also, like in our family members also, like, hey, watch only good things. Our parents have taught us, hey, watch only good things. Don't watch these things, right? The dirty things also in the market, in a YouTube, in videos. Don't watch that, right? We are prohibited from watching that because they create destruction in our consciousness, disruption in our consciousness. they make us more tamasic, and rajasic, nerve stimulating, disturbing content. Right? So go principle, like good in, good out. When we bring in good into our consciousness, then we'll be good. When we bring a more rajasic content, we'll be more rajasic. When we bring tamasic content in our mind and consciousness, we'll become more and more tamasic, right? So if a person is watching all dirty things, his mind is all dirty, his vision is dirty, his actions are dirty. You know what I'm talking about, right? So it's very important that one has to uh, bring sattvic content in our consciousness. That's a living habits also very important. So sattvic content could be like content could be from YouTube, or content could be our friends or relatives, neighbors. There are certain toxic people. They are tamasic, they make us tamasic. We don't go and criticize them and say anything to them. No, no. But when we know it, he's such a person, we try to protect our consciousness, right? We'll do something which we shield ourselves. We shield ourselves. This person is so toxic. Person is disrupting my consciousness. He's making me more and more rajasic. This happens when we meet a person. We talk to them. He's putting all our emotions into our mind, and we become more aggressive. This happens, right? Person A goes to person B. He was good before, but he goes and talks to them. He hears some rajasic content. He become more rajasic, and he goes and fights with other people. It happens all the time, right? It's also important to protect, shield ourselves with rajasic content. Content could be from YouTube. Content could be from WhatsApp, or content could be from people, right? So these are all important. And bring in good thing in our life, and consciousness pure. You may say this so much. What is this? What is this? It's too much on me. Too much on me. And we never heard it. We never learned it. Now that we are learning it, we'll try to apply it, right? So, yeah. And spiritual connection is very, very important. With this, I end the session. So spiritual connection is also very important. Okay. Certain things we can do from ourselves to shield ourselves, and try to eat a sattvic food, live a sattvic life, associate with sattvic people, read the sattvic content, watch the sattvic content on the YouTube. It's all good. Certain things we can do, but our impressions are so hard. The impressions we have been carrying over from many, many lifetimes are so hard. They push us, propel us towards, pull us down. That's why I give an example. When we cannot cure ourselves, we go to doctor and surrender to doctor. Doctor, you help me. I'll follow whatever you say. Simple. Sharanagati. That's the meaning of Sharanagati. Just surrender to Krishna. God, you do from I am doing for something from my side. You also do something. Okay. So when you surrender to Krishna, a spiritual connection by hearing the holy name of the Lord, chanting the holy name of the Lord, meditating on the pastimes of the Lord. These are transcendental. These are not anything about God. When you're looking a picture of the Lord, when you go to temple, see a deity of the Lord, that doesn't fall into any of these modes. Okay. A movie celebrity, we can say he fall into any of the mode, but God's picture, or the deity form in the temple, or God's Bhagavad Gita message, the holy message of Bhagavad Gita, doesn't fall into any of these modes. Okay, so there may be a book about Ayurveda, right? Ayurveda, how to eat good food, how to meditate, how to do gym. Right? So the how to meditate. So these are things are sattvic content, right? Sattvic books. Rajasic, tamasic books, they're bad books. They trigger our emotions and those things, right? So not so good things. So, but Bhagavad Gita doesn't fall into any of these modes. Is it transcendental? Okay. So by hearing the messages of Krishna, by studying Bhagavad Gita, by having a spiritual connection, we're studying also. We're having a spiritual connection with the God. Hmm? By meditating on the God, we're having a spiritual connection. Certain things we say, Krishna, I cannot do myself. I surrender unto you. You help me cross these modes. Okay. So with that, I'll stop here. Thank you all for attending. We just did one guna, so we'll do two other gunas. Rajas, mode of passion increases, mode of tamas increases. What are the symptoms? How to overcome those? What we can do from our side? What God can do from His side? So we'll see those things as well. in the next session. Okay, thank you all for attending the session. If you have any questions, thoughts, or sharings, we can take now. Thank you. Hare Krishna.